Success. Student and teachers alike want it, dream of it, work for it. In that ongoing endeavor, some of our students find themselves hindered by some inner enemy. We call them students with exceptionalities. Along with some amazing teachers, they form a group called SWELL, Students with Exceptionalities Learning League. Episode 1: The Usual Villains. In the last few years, the population of students with exceptionalities seems to have grown exponentially. In fact, we just might be getting better at identifying them. They were there all along. When we know more about their exceptionalities, we can help them take better advantage of what our class can offer, and knowing is half the battle. The presence of students with exceptionalities usually brings up doubts ranging from the nitty-gritty stuff all the way to the big paradigm-shifting questions. Why are they here? What are we to do with them? Could they have received adequate services earlier? Do they have the necessary skills to take my class?
Special Agent, please put on your SWE glasses for further information. Special Agent's identity confirmed. Please look at Student 1 to get intel on his nemesis. Student 1, known nemesis, attention deficit disorder. Nickname, Bad. Usual evil deed. Tricks student into thinking everything is of equal importance. Victim tends to distribute his or her attention to several stimuli, thus making it difficult to focus on the task at hand. Student 2, known nemesis, dyslexia, also known as Magento. Isn't that Magneto? Well, usual evil deed. Grinds reading process almost to a halt by making words hard to assemble in the brain. The victim has trouble remembering the beginning of a paragraph when reaching its end.
The list of enemies is longer than that, of course. Attention deficit disorder and dyslexia are only two of the most common among our students. Set in the same environment, both face very different challenges that may be partially solved by the same set of strategies. For example, a classroom is usually filled with posters, diagrams, grammar reminders, math tips, rules, maps, and a vast array of texts. For the agents of SWELL who fight an attention deficit disorder, or BAD if you prefer, this abundance of visual stimuli, combined with social interactions, tuning into what the teacher says while giving the worksheet a shot, well, it's overstimulating and hard to manage.
So we meet again. Want to complete that task for your beloved teacher? Never! Why don't you instead text your mom, check if your keys are missing, look out the window, read the first question, write your name, take a sip of coffee, listen to the chatter back there, tell your classmate to write his name on his own sheet.
As for the agents of SWELL facing dyslexia, the same environment might be filled with good intentions from the teacher, local job center, or the social committee, but they all take their toll on available reading power.
Oh no, it's Magneto. No, it's Magento. Look at my cape. No matter. You may have the right prescription glasses, but you're no match for my gibberish field. Yes, you can read, but it'll cost ya. I'll mix up a few letters here, a few letters there, in order to grind your reading almost to a stop. Why don't you just give up? You know that you'll get lost somewhere in that text.
I grant you that life in a real classroom isn't so theatrical, but the consequences of having any such exceptionality can be just as dramatic for some learners. From a teacher's point of view, some of us very well know that if a student doesn't have the leeway, the setting, or the tools to control their inner enemy, well, they sometimes turn to the dark side and develop surprising abilities to disrupt class, or worse, to drop out again and again. Their success, our success, depends on our taking action as concerned educators. What we don't want is any learner's failure. When a student with an exceptionality seems headed towards a brick wall, our job is to act as any superhero's mentor would do. We give advice, train our protege to develop new powers, and give sufficient leeway for them to be wielded. Now, is it realistic to aim for top grades for all our students? Well, probably not. Is it realistic to aim for passing grades for the vast, whopping majority of them? Hell yeah! Here are a few tips and thoughts to help you not only with your students with exceptionalities, but everyone in your class. First and foremost, if your class isn't about improving writing or reading skills, then don't make it into a class about improving writing or reading skills. Stick to your guns and defend your program. I should be careful now. I'm not saying that there's no place for reading and writing in your class if you teach math. Au contraire, any math teacher will tell you that reading skills are of the utmost importance for efficient problem solving. You could consider pairing up a special needs student with another who would quietly read aloud a list of tasks, long questions, or written explanations. I know, it opens up huge doors for collaboration. It might be okay in some cases, but not so much in some others. Allowing the use of technology in a class might also be a sensible solution. In many cases, fancy, specialized software isn't even necessary. Sometimes the simple, most common tools are often best. Student could use a word processor that allows writing and rewriting and rejumbling stuff around without crumpling any paper up. Must the learners absolutely read the test questions? Could you record them? Could they even record their answers? One last thing. A well-documented, thoroughly thought-out judgment can sometimes somehow outweigh many grades, badges, or trophies. If you've witnessed that a student gets it, but doesn't have much to show for it come exam time, maybe you ought to listen to your tingling teacher sense. Perhaps the standardized test is not the most accurate measuring tool for your learner's competency. Taking this into consideration might open up a whole new way of evaluating. You know, once you've given the proper setting, tools, time, choices, and tasks to your students, your job is almost done. It's up to all of your students to mend the gap between what they can do and what is expected of them. Success is a team effort.
Meanwhile at Lord Failure's castle.
Okay, listen up. We have a problem. There's a new bunch of do-gooders in town. Together with their teachers, they formed the Students with Exceptionalities Learning League, the Swell, and they think they're onto us. They can't get rid of us. You there, you're next. Show them what you can do.